And so what would that look like? That then wanting to, or being able to make that shift from that low confidence. So then you've identified it, you've recognized it as this moment of low confidence, and you've held that compassion, and you're saying to yourself, that's okay. Like, what is that? And then being able to make that shift then to heightening your confidence. What is that? How do you make that change? Like, what does it on a practical level look like or feel like or sound?
Some days it's harder than others, and some days it might take me driving down to the local store and buying a big tub of dulce de leche Haagen-Dazs ice cream, and like digging into the tub and feeling really awful afterwards because my stomach hurts. But in each of those points, from feeling sad, from my stomach hurting, all that pain that sort of starts accumulating, there comes a point where you know to stop. And it sometimes can just be 100th of a second where something's speaking to you, and it might be that nauseous feeling that you've had because you've just eaten too much ice cream, or you've actually got to the bottom of the box of tissues and there's just none left. The sign's always there, and it's to find and really have an immense amount of courage when you're seeking compassion for yourself. And a lot of people really don't understand that to have grace you need courage, to have courage you need grace, because they blend so well together, and one can't really exist without the other, in my opinion. But when you can go into that moment to know this is the point where I know I'm sore, I know this is causing me sore, I've hurt somebody, and what do I do with that reality? How do I still accept and love myself in this moment? And how do I be love for myself or for the other that I might have impacted? And it's to just stop, go back to breath. For me, what's very powerful in those times would be a good meditation session or yoga, and access the ability to be with what is. And what is in that moment is the sadness. But it doesn't mean I have to react the whole time, to continue to cry, to continue go to the tubs of ice cream, because there's going to come a point where I don't think I'm going to really enjoy my body as much as what I do now if I keep eating too much ice cream. But it doesn't mean we can't have those moments. And these are our habitual ways of being. But it's to be able to stop ourselves from falling over ourselves in our habits when we need to implode and we need to fall apart. It's about knowing in that moment that you can stop and integrate, because when we get caught up in a sad moment, something's run away with us, and it's the ego that loves to come down and hound us, and it's usually a mind narrative. We're running with a story that we don't want to sit with, but to come back and say, well, what can I do for that part of me that is now fractured and disconnected? And my body, I'm busy not taking care of my body by lying on the couch and just wallowing. Yes, I might need that for a short period of time, but then how do I do the counterbalance of getting myself maybe to go do some yoga or meditation, or to get my mind out of the story that I'm stuck in that's causing the sadness, or or taking me away from being integrated and feeling confident in the moment. So I might need to say to myself, well, fine, what about reading a quality book and not getting caught up in lost in binge watching a TV series, or doing something for my soul, which might be from a characteristic point of view, doing something that brings a sense of understanding to what I'm doing. That might be going to see my coach or my therapist, or doing something for my spirit. And that's usually something playful, silly, juvenile. And for me, that's one of the best ways and easiest ways is either to go walk in nature and, play with the butterflies, or roll around on the floor with my cat. I mean, that's a great way for me to be silly, because she loves a good game. And you allow yourself to get absorbed in that and take yourself away from whatever it is that is stripping you from confidence, or what you would, saying, I'm not feeling confident because of something that happened. But go and find something that can nurture that part of you. And for me, I need to nurture all four parts. And that's why I teach that in Daring to Be Love is when we are integrated, and when we can nurture all of these components of ourselves, we can be integrated and live a life of joy, and not necessarily then, have our confidence stripped out of us too often.